Oh, okay. But it's like seems like that there's still a bit of cash in the market. Like people are like still trying to put, where there's high yields or to buffer that rising
High
cost.
yields is referring to?
I'm not too sure. That's why they going around
I
to see
think
whether there's high yield or
the high yield now is bond, because bond price is low while the yield is high. Now the yield is at 3.88 for 10-year yield, so bond price is cheap. So if you would ask me to buy some bond to get 3.88, it sounds good. But if inflation is still standing at 8%, then you pay me at 3.88%, I'm still losing it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So what you need to do is that to drive the power price low and let the yield rises to push down inflation, then is the best thing to happen. You can buy the bond at a very cheap price and get a yield given to you at a high yield, and then the inflation is being pushed down, and this is where you can benefit from it. Of course, the other one is junk bonds. Junk bonds is not at a very high level, but as you know, the word junk bond means that there's very high risk involved, so I will say no to you. And if you ask me, can we just buy any shares right now that is cheap right now and just keep it for long term? Well, I say if you don't want to wait for the 37% that I just shared with you earlier, anytime you're going to buy, you can buy now, because it's almost like 20 to 40% off their recent high. Yes.
Yeah, correct. How about REITs?
REITs. Now, I'm no expert in REITs, so I'm not going to comment much. But definitely, we all know that a higher interest rate environment will never be a good thing for property. This is something that we all know. And we always know that even when the interest rate sort of come down, because the market is collectively affected, we do see REITs coming down most of the time. So I am not going to comment much on this.
So that means hold cash first, right? You're saying. So have that liquidity anytime for opportunity that comes. Then how about setting aside some money for trading?
Well, if you were to trade to make some passive cash, obviously you can learn from people like myself, example, right? Then you can just try to follow the main trend. Like recently, like I said earlier, our site have been telling our students to be on the short side on the equity market or going long on crude oil. So the charts looks very clear, and that's what we are doing. Now, please be upfront here that no trading is 100%. There will be bound of losses. There will be chance of you getting too very emotional on this. But if you have a decent system and you really practice risk management, the one I said earlier, I think that should help you a lot. In fact itself, right, always use about 1 to 2% of your capital. And the so-called, once you are in profit, consider to just shift your trailing stock and let it run. Because only when the big profit always comes when you let it run. Too many a time I notice that people will cut short their profits and they will allow losses to run. So that is how you lose money. It's
the wrong way. The wrong way.
Exactly.
You're right. But that's where traders tend to get very emotional, whether on the greed part or on the revengeful part or the fearful part. Is there a way to curb all this emotional stuff?
Well, I mean, there are many books to tell you what you can do, but for me, what I tell my students is that I tell them this: you try to. It's just like how basketball players, they can shoot the 3-pointers. It's not that they are very big in size or they are very deadly accurate, but it's because of muscle memory. What they do is that they train so hard every day, 2-3 hours, to have that muscle memory, right? So same thing for trading. If you were to really every single trade follow this 1% stop out rule, I think that after maybe 10 to 20 trades, you get the hang of it, right? You will notice that you will not be able to trade again if you don't make the same thing. But unfortunately, most people will do the easier way out. Just see the price, check their account size. Okay, I have the money, just buy and sell. And after that, they lead to regret. So that's why I say you need to have a group of really dedicated trainers who really tell you that you have to follow this and force them to repeat this for many, many times until they get used to it, muscle memory. I think by then they can be able to settle this problem.
Correct. It means it's like really need to build that correct muscles, right? So that it became like a habit
Yes.
for the traders to be disciplined.
Yeah.
But with that's why you also mentioned that perhaps then that's where they probably need some coaches to guide them, give them a reminder that
Yes, correct.
don't go astray, stick to the plan.
Correct.
Yeah.
It's much easier for people to move astray from the main plan. It's very easy because it's the fastest way and the easiest way. But we have seen it before. Most traders, as we know in the market, they lose money because of the same thing.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
They are too focused on the profit. They negate the importance of stop loss.
Yes. But would your trade the voice system, kind of like designed to mitigate such risk of traders?
Okay, trade with the voice system is that what we do is to tell you the chance or the probability of this market going up or going down. Now, when you enter and where you put a stop loss, we'll share with you. But seriously, the point is your risk management mentality. Is that if you were to enter a very big size without actually asking yourself, if I get hit, how much will I lose? That means that I can give you the same entry and same stop loss, right? But if you enter 10 contracts, which is like, wow, okay? Now, of course, if you make money, you're the king of the world. But if the market pulls back down to the stop loss and you go to enter 10 contracts, right? Your losses is going to be much bigger than you can imagine. And what will happen? It will become the start of the crumbling effect. And of course, the next trade itself, you'll be scared, you'll be fearful, so you won't know what to do. So even the best trade come right to you itself, you just say, I don't want to trade, or I'm scared, and stuff like that. That's what usually happens. So for us, right, we already tell you, our system works about 70 to 80%. The general success is all based on your risk management. Right. You must really do your computation and ask yourself, how much can you lose? How much will you lose if you put a trade in? And if you are okay with this, then you enter. So that's what we always emphasize.
Yes. How would you manage your own emotions as a trader?
Oh, that's a good question though. Well, I'll be honest, I've been in the market for so many years, and undeniable, there'll be time I will also freak out or get upset like all individuals.
Sure.
Yeah, but I do put a stand on this is that whenever I get very beaten by trading, right, the first rule is that I will stop trading, but not to stop entirely, but if to stop for a while and ask myself where I went wrong, what I've done, and why didn't I practice the risk management. So it's a lot of reflection. I reflect what happened and what causes this, and tell myself, am I going to be dumb enough to repeat this mistake again? Now, if the answer to myself is that I'm going to be that dumb again, then I'm still going to trade, right? But if the thing is that, okay, you have learned your mistake and you will not repeat that, and you don't mind coming back in again and do the same thing, I think that's more important. Too many times I see students, they know their error, they know their mistake, but because they doesn't want to face the problem earlier, they will now find another solution, or find another market, or find another trainer to help them. Then as long as you don't see this, right, it's just a time factor that you will still lose in the market.
True, fair enough. Yeah. So Kel, one last question is like for traders, say beginners, they would be wondering if, let's say, they want to explore trading as a side gig or any possibility to become a full-time trader, or maybe they're really out of job already due to these current situations. What is your take to them that, whether are they even cut out to be a trader, or should they even try it out first to decide whether, can they trade, and how much money do you think they should set aside, for this venture?
Okay, this is a very, very important and true question. Now, I always tell people this, trading is like an athlete going for Olympic. Why? Because first of all, many traders think that when they trade, they are only trading between themselves. But you're wrong. You are trading against the top-notch traders of the entire world.
Right.
Yes. You like it or don't like it, your opponent could be JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs. You won't know. So the thing is this, if you are not mentally and physically prepared, this is going to be a tough one. Now let's talk mental first. Mentally prepared means that are you able to know what your system does, it really can give you the 70-80% accuracy? And do you know how to use the system properly? And even that so itself, your risk management, do you know that you must lose money to make money? Because a lot of people is only expect to make money and don't lose money, and that's where the problem comes in. Now once you have that, that is the mental part. How about physical? Now, trading is a very physical game. To a lot of people, they say, no, I'm sitting on a computer. No, your brain is going to be using most of your energy. You are going to look at the market and decide what to do this moment, that moment, and if things changes, so what should I do? Should I flip my position? Should I continue my position? Should I add on position? Should I reduce position? All these are like driving a car, but everything in front of you is going to be very important, right? So to me, physical is important. So I do exercise a bit, which means that I do my regular running, jogging, and my push-ups, so that right, I keep my mind in a clear state and physically healthy. So once you have this mental and this physical, is already the last one, is the final one, is whereby your environment. Now I notice that some traders, they are okay as a trader, they have the best, their mental strength is okay, but the problem is the environment is not that conducive. So if let's say you're going to trade in an environment whereby a lot of noise and a lot of distractions, or there is not comfortable, or maybe the Wi-Fi is not stable, all these plays a part. So you need to basically balance these three areas. Now once you can do it, I can say more or less a trader can be born.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it can be made or can be born, but once you have this thing all covered right, this trader most likely will make it. Recently we did a little experiment. We have about 25 students joining this pro trader program. You can see that those people who succeeded has the same traits. Yeah, those who didn't do that well, they also have the same habits.
Okay.
So if you actually look at it right from this point of view, you notice that it's all up to you whether do you have more towards the habits of the trader who don't make it, or the traits of the people who make it. And if you can do it itself, right, more or less you should be able to move on to this side.
So are we able to like correct, the trait that is not favorable for a trader, and then move on to the A trader side, to learn new traits or acquire new traits?
I think that, as I mentioned, able to be responsive towards errors and mistakes. Now, a lot of people have been trading for eons. I have friends who trade for eons, like 20, 30 years. And we still have argument whenever we trade in the market, because we realize that some people is too sold by their own feeling, emotions, techniques. So even though they know that this is wrong, but they will still want to try it again and expect a different answer. So it's kind of clear that what Einstein have said, right? If you were to do the same thing again and again, the same way, and you still fail and you expect a different answer next time, I think that that's considered silly. Yeah, for us itself, right, we don't do that. Once we know that, hey, this is an error and it's confirmed, we try our best not to repeat this again. Yeah.
So it's still very much based on individuals, whether they are able to transcend to a different set of traits for a sustainable trader, right? Yeah, correct. That means it's like if they want to change, they have to be the change from within first, I suppose.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, that's really good tips, and thank you so much, Cal, for really sharing valuable tips and insights for even the latest market conditions and situation. And if you want to embark on the trading journey, right? He has shared some tips for you to be holistically be ready, right? Even if you embark on this journey and really be serious about it before you want to be successful as a trader, right? Yeah. So thank you so much, Cal, for joining us today.
Thank you so much.
And we'll catch up with you soon in the next episode.
Alright guys, I wish you all the best in trading. See you then.
Thank you.